Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a class given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on October 3rd, 2020 in Sridham, Mayapur, India. The class begins with a reading from the Srimad-Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, Chapter 3, Verse 3.
Paramanandamadavam Sri Chaitanya Ishram Hari Om Tat Sat Govardhana Dharam Bande Gopala Goparupinam Bhagavatsala Ishanam Govindam Gopikapriyam
यस्या वयव संस्थाने कल्पितो लोक विस्तारा तद्वै भगवतो रूपम विशुद्धम सत्वम ऊर्जितम. Translation. It is believed that all the universal planetary systems are situated on the extensive body of the Purush, but he has nothing to do with the created material ingredients. His body is eternally in spiritual existence par excellence. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The conception of Virat Rupa or Vishwa Rupa of the Supreme Absolute Truth is especially meant for the neophyte who can hardly think of the transcendental form of the personality of Godhead. To him, a form means something of this material world, and therefore an opposite conception of the Absolute is necessary in the beginning to concentrate the mind on the power extension of the Lord. As stated above, the Lord extends His potency in the form of the Mahat-tattva, which includes all material ingredients. The extension of power by the Lord and the Lord Himself personally are one in one sense. But at the same time, the Mahat-tattva is different from the Lord. Therefore, the potency of the Lord and the Lord are simultaneously different and non-different. The conception of the Virat Rupa, especially for the impersonalist, is thus non-different from the eternal form of the Lord. This eternal form of the Lord exists prior to the creation of the Mahat-tattva, and it is stressed here that the eternal form of the Lord is par excellence spiritual or transcendental to the modes of material nature. The very same transcendental form of the Lord is manifested by His internal potency, and the formation of His multifarious manifestations of incarnations is always of the same transcendental quality without any touch of the Mahat-tattva. Translation. It is believed that all the universal planetary systems are situated on the extensive body of the Purusha, but he has nothing to do with the created material ingredients. His body is eternally in spiritual existence par excellence.
So, we see that the Lord existed before the material world.
So we can see that the Lord existed before the material world.
Therefore, He is not dependent on the material ingredients.
Therefore, he is not dependent on the material ingredients.
Because He existed before the material ingredients did.
Because he existed before the material ingredients did.
If people think and he's a product of the material energy, that's wrong.
If people think that he is a product of the material energy, then they are wrong.
Because if he was the product of the material energy,
Because if he was a product of the material energy,
he could only exist after the material energy.
he could only exist after the material energy.
But he existed before.
But he existed before.
That's why he's not dependent on the material energy.
Therefore, he is not dependent on the material energy.
So Lord Chaitanya taught the philosophy of Achintya Veda Veda Tattva.
So Lord Chaitanya taught the philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva.
And inconceivably, simultaneously, the energy is different and non-different from the Lord.
That inconceivably, simultaneously, the energy of the Lord is one and another at the same time.
Different and non-different.
Different and non-different.
So, some of the impersonalists think that the form of the Lord is Sataguna or something.
Some of the impersonalists, they think that the form of the Lord is
More goodness.
mode of goodness, Satogu.
But he is Satchidananda.
But he is Sachidananda.
He is transcendental,
He is transcendental,
eternal, blissful knowledge.
eternal, blissful, and full in knowledge.
In the Rig Veda it says,
In the Rig Veda it says,
Om Krishna Laya Satchidananda Gana Krishna Adhibosha.
this sloka in the Rig Veda.
That Krishna is the quality of Satchidananda.
Krishna has this quality of Sat Chit Ananda.
He is the primeval Lord.
He is the primeval Lord,
He existed before everything else.
where he existed before everything else.
So, therefore, he is the source of all the others.
Therefore, he is the source of all the others,
This is explained in Bhagavad Gita.
which is explained in Bhagavad Gita.
Sarvasyatam Harivishto. Everything is coming from me.
Everything is coming from me.
Also in the Brahma Samhita, it describes that Krishna is the cause of all causes.
Also, it is described in Brahma Samhita that how Krishna is the cause of all the causes.
And he is the supreme controller.
He is the supreme controller.
Ishvara Brahma Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiyadi Govinda Karana Karanam. So it's very easy to understand that Krishna is actually transcendental.
So it's actually easy to understand that Krishna is actually transcendental.
Shankaracharya also explained that Narayana is above the material energy.
Shankaracharya also explained that how Narayana is above the material energy.
Narayana Paravaktak.
Narayana Paravyaktak.
But still, impersonalists think anything with form must be material.
But still, the impersonalists think anything with a form must be material.
And that's why they think that spiritual means formless.
Therefore, they think that spiritual means formless.
So this is the confusion of the impersonalists.
So this is the confusion of the impersonalists.
Devotees listen to the impersonalists,
If the devotee listen to the impersonalist,
and they also get confused.
they may also get confused.
And therefore, Lord Chaitanya advised we should not listen to the Mayavadis.
Therefore, Lord Chaitanya advised that we should not listen to Mayavadis.
Mayavadi, Hare Krishna Paradi.
Mayavadi hoy Krishna Paradi.
Mayavadis are the offenders of Lord Krishna.
Mayavadis are the offenders of Lord Krishna.
I had some experience that
I have some experience.
Mayavadis and like brain is short circuited.
Mayavadis, their brain is like short circuited.
Can't understand the personality of God.
They cannot understand the personality of God.
So then Prabhupada was advising,
So Prabhupada was advising,
disengage them in devotional service.
just engage them in devotional service.
By so they'll be gradually purified.
By so, they'll be gradually purified.
That's what happened. Some Mayavadi, after engaging in devotional service,
Then some Mayavadi, after engaging them in devotional service,
he started to say, now I think I realize what you're saying.
so after some time, this Mayavadi said, so now I have realized that what you are saying.
It took him a few years.
It took him a few years.
And there's so much conditioned by anything personal must be material.
They are so conditioned by something which is personal must be material.
They can't understand how Krishna, being a supreme person, is actually transcendental.
They cannot understand how Krishna, being the supreme person, is transcendental.
And that is explained here in this verse.
That is explained here in this verse.
And although he has a body, his body is situated in spiritual existence.
That although he has a body, his body is existing in the spiritual existence.
Actually, there's no difference of his body and himself.
Actually, there is no difference between him and his body.
We have a difference.
We have a difference.
In the material world, the Atma is different from the body.
In material world, the Atma is different from the body.
When the Atma leaves the body
When Atma leaves the body
is dead.
the body is dead.
And only the Atma makes the body appear alive.
Only the Atma makes the body appear alive.
Krishna is pure soul.
But Krishna is pure soul.
He has no material body.
He has no material body.
And that the impersonalists are not able to understand.
That the impersonalists are not able to understand.
That's why this Virat Rupa is presented.
That's why this Virat Rupa is present.
Like gradually they can start to appreciate the transcendental form of the Lord.
So that gradually they can start to appreciate the transcendental form of the Lord.
Lord Chaitanya, he was coming down to show that
Lord Chaitanya, he was coming down to show
how to perform Bhakti Yoga.
how to perform Bhakti Yoga.
And that just as a teacher sometimes takes a chalk and writes something on the chalkboard.
And just like sometimes a teacher, he takes the chalk and writes something on the chalkboard.
Similarly, Lord Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya
Similarly, Lord Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya
to show how to engage in devotional service.
to show how to engage in devotional service.
That's why Lord Chaitanya's pastimes are so wonderful.
That's why Lord Chaitanya's pastimes are so wonderful.
That he comes down as Mahaprabhu,
That he comes down as Mahaprabhu,
a great teacher,
the great teacher,
to teach everyone
to teach everyone
how to love Krishna.
how to love Krishna.
He would try to be ecstatic.
He would cry, he would be ecstatic.
All the devotees, by seeing him, were feeling such ecstasy.
All the devotees, by seeing him, were feeling such ecstasy.
He's known as the Vaishnava Raj,
He is known as the Vaishnava Raj,
the king of the Vaishnavas.
the king of the Vaishnavas.
Vaishnava Raj has his assembly,
Vaishnava Raj has his assembly
or sabha,
or a sabha.
Vaishnava Raj Sabha.
So Vaishnava Raj Sabha,
That's a universal. All the Vaishnavas in the existence.
that's universal for all the Vaishnavas in the existence.
He is the ruler. He is the king.
He is the king.
And so to protect them and to guide them and different acharyas,
So to protect them and guide them, different acharyas,
they had taken this role in the various yugas.
they had taken this role in various yugas.
Since Lord Chaitanya came after his disappearance,
Since Lord Chaitanya came after his disappearance,
and the world looked dark,
the world looked dark.
and Rupa Swami became the protector of Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha.
And Rupa Goswami became the protector of Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha.
And under him was Jiva Swami.
After him was Jiva Goswami.
Like that, parampara of different acharyas,
So like that, there's a parampara of different acharyas.
they protected the Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha.
They protected the Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha.
Like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
Like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
So actually, this was restarted by Bhaktivinoda Thakur,
Actually, this was restarted by Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
and he took action to defend the Sampradaya against the various Upper Sampradaya.
And he took action to defend the Sampradayas against the different up Sampradayas.
And then after him was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Mahaprabhu Thakur.
And then after him was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada.
He gave a process how to, all the members of the Vishwagaudiya Raj Sabha to cooperate together.
He wanted all the Vaishnavas of Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha to cooperate together
To manage the affairs of the Sabha
to manage the affairs of the Sabha
collectively through a governing body commission.
collectively through a governing body commission.
But after some time, they stopped following his instructions.
But after some time, they stopped following his instructions.
And that's where His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he said this was a mistake on their part.
That's when His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he said that was a mistake on their part.
Anyway, we all know we cannot speak about our Guru Varga, our superiors,
Anyway, we cannot speak about our Guru Varga or superiors.
but Prabhupada has given some detailed just advice us that we should follow him.
Prabhupada has given some detailed advice that how we should follow him.
You can see that by his bringing a message of Lord Chaitanya all over the world,
We can see by his bringing of Lord Chaitanya's message all over the world
was a great fulfillment of the predictions of the previous acharyas, the Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna.
it was a great fulfillment of the predictions of previous acharyas, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna.
He was actually protecting the whole the succession
He was actually protecting the whole disciplic succession
by establishing the message of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati
by
Thakur.
establishing the message of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
He wanted to unite the whole Saraswat family.
He wanted to unite the whole Saraswat family
And the members of the Bhaktivedanta Swami Charity Trust
He,
do that.
he asked me to, and the members of Bhaktivedanta Swami Charity Trust to do that.
And we're trying.
We are trying,
It's not easy.
but it's not easy.
How pot together, you bring it, you can't exactly put it together.
If you have a pot and it breaks, and if you want to put it together with a gel, it doesn't appear the same.
So we have to think of some unique way to bring us together.
So we have to think out some unique way to bring us together.
But you can see here that this, like this slogan of Bhagavatam indicates how not everyone can understand the Vaishnava philosophy.
The shloka says how it's not that everyone can understand the Vaishnava philosophy.
And therefore, the Bhagavatam is presenting the things in a very gradual, systematic way.
Therefore, the Bhagavatam is presenting the things in a very gradual, systematic way.
But actually, the devotees, they can understand that the Lord is transcendental,
But actually, the devotees, they can understand that the Lord is transcendental,
that He is eternally and spiritual existence,
that He is in eternal and spiritual existence,
par excellence.
par excellence.
So, that's why the Vaishnava Raj Sabha needs to be protected,
That's why the Vaishnava Raj Sabha needs to be protected
and they need to be promoted.
and it needs to be promoted.
And see that today, many issues, topical current issue,
We see today there are many issues
and people don't know what the solution is,
and people don't know what the solution is.
but they say that there's problems.
But they say that there are problems
I understand that.
and they understand that.
It's like they see that there's a problem with the caste system
Just like they see that there is a problem with the caste system
because certain people are considered as lower class, certain people as higher caste.
because some people are considered as lower caste, some people are considered as higher caste.
Okay, what the original system given by Lord Krishna was that
But the original system which was given by Lord Krishna was that
a person be categorized or engaged according to his quality and work.
that a person should be engaged according to his quality of work.
Guna karma,
Guna karma,
vivagasa.
vibhagasa.
It doesn't say dharma karma.
He did not say janma karma.
It doesn't say birth.
That he does not say birth.
But people are demanding respect based on their birth.
But people are getting respect based on their birth.
And they're doing criminal activities.
And they are doing
Criminal
criminal activities. Criminal activities.
Like recently there's an issue that one young girl, 19 years old, was gang raped by high caste Hindu.
Recently there was an issue that one low caste girl, 19-year-old, she was gang raped by high caste Hindus, allegedly,
And then she died.
and she died.
So this created a big problem.
So this created a big problem.
People think that this is due to the caste system.
And people think that this is due to the caste system.
But this is a misconception of the caste system.
But this is a misconception of the caste system.
these people are best called Brahma Bandhus or unqualified family members of Brahmas.
These people are called as Brahma Bandhu or unqualified members of the Brahmin family,
They're criminals.
and they are criminals.
So they saw that Arjuna, he arrested Asatama because he was acting as a murderer.
We saw that Arjuna, he arrested Ashwatthama because he acted as a murderer.
And he didn't act as a Brahmana.
He did not act as a Brahmana.
So he was captured like an animal.
So he was captured like an animal.
So like that, if people misbehave and not give any kind of respect
So like this, people misbehave and they are not given any kind of respect
according to the ancient system.
according to the ancient system.
But now, based on their birth, they're claiming some privileges.
But now, because of their birth, they are claiming some privileges
And are not worthy.
and they are not worthy.
So that's creating a big social disturbance.
So this is creating a big social disturbance.
So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada,
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada,
he started to give Brahminical initiation to Vaishnavas.
he started giving Brahminical initiation to Vaishnavas,
No matter what birth caste they came from.
no matter what birth caste they came from.
If they are Vaishnavas,
If,
you consider them qualified Brahmanas.
if they were Vaishnavas, he considered them qualified Brahmanas.
Now this is the need of the hour.
This was the need of the hour.
And they won't be a Vaishnava,
That if you won't be a Vaishnava,
they will be a devotee.
everyone would be a devotee.
And then those, based on their work, they can do particular duties.
And those based on their work, they can do particular duties.
If someone's working as a teacher,
If someone is working as a teacher,
which is basically a Brahminical type of
which is
activity,
basically a Brahminical type of service,
they still follow the duties of a Brahmin,
they should follow the duties of a Brahmin.
be a vegetarian,
Be a vegetarian,
not take any intoxication,
not take any intoxication,
say lies,
not saying lies,
not do anything immoral.
not being immoral.
But those are not the activities some teachers are doing today.
But those are not the activities the teachers are doing today.
So they have a degree, that's sufficient.
It's just that they have a degree and that's sufficient.
The system was that a teacher, a priest, they not only have academic qualifications,
This-
they should have character also.
But the system was that the teacher or the priest, they should not only have this academic qualification, but they should be qualified morally also. Character, with their good character also.
That's all I call a Kshatriya or an administrator, he should protect the innocent.
Like the Kshatriya or the administrator, he should protect the innocent.
He should never take charity
He should never take charity.
or you see a bribe.
What to speak of bribe?
So, the kind of standards are established depending on your work.
So the standards was established that it depending on the kind of work,
One military man, the administrator, or
whether,
police,
whether one is a military man, the administrator or police,
certain qualities they should have.
that there are certain qualities that they should have.
We're seeing that in the West, the movement Black Lives Matter, because police who are supposed to protect the people, they're
We see in
using their authority on them.
we saw the movement in West, Black Lives Matters. The police, who the authority is, They are supposed to protect the citizen, but they are misusing their authority.
And some of them have dealt wrongly with the people of color.
Some of them dealt wrongly with the people of color.
So that has sparked protests around
So
the
that
world.
sparked protest all around the world.
So like these things society is facing today.
So like these things as the society is facing today.
So Krishna consciousness is a divine solution,
So Krishna consciousness is a divine solution.
and very important that our devotees understand this teachings of the Srimad-Bhagavatam.
It's very important that our devotees understand the teachings of Srimad-Bhagavatam,
Understand the message of His Divine Grace, Lord John Bhakti Swami Prabhupada,
understand the message of His Divine Grace, Abhay Charan, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada,
and how to disseminate this knowledge in society.
and help to distribute this knowledge to the society.
This will actually provide a permanent solution.
This will actually provide a permanent solution.
Material scientists, they study the material nature.
The material scientists, they study the material nature.
They're thinking that somehow the nature produces life.
They are thinking that somehow the nature has produced life.
They have not done so.
But they have never done so.
Life is actually, and Prabhupada taught, life is coming from life.
As Srila Prabhupada taught, that life is coming from life.
The Atma is a small part of the Paramatma.
That Atma is the small part of the Paramatma.
Therefore, the Atma enters into this material world
Therefore, the Atma enters into this material world
and keeps the body, gives life to the bodies.
and gives life to the bodies.
Without the Atma, there's no life.
Without the Atma, there is no life.
And so the material scientists are thinking that matter produces life.
So the material scientists, they are thinking that matter produces life.
There's no evidence of that.
But there is no evidence of that.
And Vedas tell us how life comes from the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
And Vedas tell us that how life comes from the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
And energies are minute particles
That is any energy or minute particles
into the material world,
into the material world,
and they give life to the otherwise inert energy.
and they give life to the otherwise material energy.
Various plants, aquatics,
Various plants, aquatics,
insects,
insects,
reptiles,
reptiles,
birds,
birds,
and mammals,
and mammals,
and humans.
and humans.
So without the Atma, no life.
So without the Atma, there is no life.
Now the science have realized that it's a cell.
So before, the science would say, oh, this is just a cell, but now they have realized
The cell is very complex.
that a cell is very complex.
In fact, it's so complex
In fact, it's so complex
that it's amazing. It's amazing.
that it's amazing.
Also, this cell is not also to create by accident.
So actually, even a cell is not possible to create by an accident.
If studied, there must be some intelligence behind it.
There must be some intelligent behind it.
These great thinkers like Einstein came to the conclusion
These great thinkers like Einstein came to this conclusion
there must be an intelligence behind this.
that there must be an intelligence behind this.
Without intelligence, this whole world can't function.
Without intelligence, this whole world cannot function.
So, this we see all these universal planetary systems
We see all these universally planetary systems
just to understand, see them as being on the extensive spiritual body of the Purusha.
just to see them on the existential body of the Supreme Purusha.
Extensive.
Extensive.
And this is why the Vishwarup or Vishwa Virarup,
Just by the Virat Roop.
one is able to start to enter into the transcendental activities of the Lord.
One is able to start entering in the transcendental activities of the Lord.
Just as the basic thing, the Lord is transcendental.
Just it's a basic thing that the Lord is transcendental.
Finally, we canto by canto and see different activities of the Supreme Personality.
We can find these in canto by canto about the activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So now we give the first entry into the Virat Rupa.
So now we are given the first entry into the Virat Rupa.
To understand how the whole universe depends on the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
To tell us how the whole universe depends on the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So, as we go on, we read the different pastimes of the Lord,
So as we go on, we read the different pastimes of the Lord
start to understand things
and start to understand things
in a more complete way,
in a more complete way.
leading up to the 10th canto,
Leading up to the 10th canto,
which tells us the pastime of Lord Krishna.
which tells us the pastimes of Lord Krishna.
But understand that is very similar to human activities.
But to understand that it's very similar to human activities,
But that is actually transcendental.
but that is actually transcendental.
One needs to study the entire Bhagavatam canto by canto,
One needs to study the entire Bhagavatam canto by canto.
and they can realize how the Lord is actually transcendental.
Then we could realize how the Lord is actually transcendental.
So, we can take some questions.
We can take some questions now. Question: what is the difference between material and spiritual separation? What are the different moods of separation with Guru? Is separation feeling from Guru same as separation feeling from Gauranga? Your shelter spiritual daughter Pooja.
I see material separation due to identifying with the body.
You see, material separation is due to identifying with the body.
I say, we have a body, and that came from mother and father.
Say we have a body, it came from mother and father.
From the same mother and father came brothers and sisters.
With same mother and father came brothers and sisters.
Like that, if we feel separation due to some bodily relationship,
So like that, if we feel separation due to the bodily relationships,
that is something material.
that is something material.
Because every birth will have a different mother and father, different brothers and sisters.
Because in every birth we will have different mother and father, different brothers and sisters.
Sometimes we be born as a lady, sometimes in a man's body.
Sometimes we would be born as in a lady's body, sometimes in a man's body,
And we may be also born in some other species.
and we also may be born in some other species.
Indra was once offensive to his guru.
Indra was once offensive to his guru,
And then the guru cursed him
and his guru cursed him,
to be a pig.
be a pig.
And then he was in this planet
Then he was in this planet
as a pig.
as a pig.
And many wives,
He had many wives,
many piglets,
many piglets,
and he was lying in his mud.
and he was enjoying in the mud.
And then the guru came, take him back.
And the guru came to take him back,
He didn't want to go.
but he did not want to go.
He felt separated from his piggy wives and
He was-
piglets.
He was feeling separation from his piggy wives and piglets.
And then Lord Brahma, then the guru, I remember who he was.
Then the guru gave him the memory of who he was.
In this horrible place.
Then he was thinking how I am in this horrible place.
So that's material separation.
So that's material separation.
And spiritual separation is we're connected with the Lord.
Spiritual separation is that we are connected with the Lord.
It's a spiritual heart-to-heart, spirit-to-spirit relationship.
It's a spiritual heart-to-heart, spirit-to-spirit relationship.
And actually, if we feel that kind of separation, our Guru or Vaishnavas,
Naturally, we feel that kind of separation when Guru and Vaishnavas,
that's something transcendental
that's something transcendental.
and not based on the body.
And they are not based on the body. Hari Bol. Next question. Guru Maharaj, in Bhagavad Gita 4.34 purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions, satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. How should we try to satisfy and please Guru? Hari Har Krishna Chaitanya Das.
And this time, the Guru is naturally pleased if we are satisfying the desires of Srila Prabhupada.
In ISKCON, the Guru is naturally satisfied if we are fulfilling the desires of Srila Prabhupada.
And Prabhupada wants to satisfy his Guru's desires.
As Prabhupada wants to satisfy his Guru's desires,
His Guru, his Guru.
and his Guru is his Guru's desire,
that.
like that.
Goes up to Lord Brahma,
Goes up to Lord Brahma,
wants to satisfy Krishna.
and where he wants to satisfy Krishna.
So, in that way,
So in that way,
we try to please our Guru and Krishna.
we try to please Guru and Krishna.
That will be the success of our spiritual life.
That will be the success of our spiritual life.
But maybe being a spiritual master gives some specific application which is applicable for us.
But maybe the spiritual master can give some specific instructions which are applicable to us.
It's like A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada.
Just like His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada,
He gave certain services to his devotees
He gave certain services to his devotees
based on their abilities and potentials.
based on their ability and potentials.
And this way, spiritual master may give you some particular service,
So in this way, spiritual master can give you some particular service
or maybe a general service.
or a general service.
Generally, we try to satisfy our temple president, our spiritual authorities.
Generally, we try to satisfy our temple president or our spiritual authorities,
And sometimes we receive some instruction from the spiritual master.
but sometimes we may receive a specific instruction from the spiritual master. Next question. Guru Maharaj, how we avoid materialistic things, emotion in our devotional life? How to do our seva with nice concentration? From Nivedita.
By spiritual knowledge, we can avoid materialistic things.
By spiritual knowledge, we can avoid materialistic things.
Krishna Soja Sama Maya Hoy Andhakar Jaya Krishna Nahi Maya Nahi Adhikar.
Krishna Surya Sam Maya Andhakar, Jahan Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Radhikar.
Oh, whether it's Krishna, like the sun, there's no darkness.
So where there is Krishna, he is like sun, there is no darkness.
And the material life is like darkness.
And material life is like darkness.
To eradicate the darkness, they bring in the light of Krishna.
To eradicate the darkness, you have to bring in the light of Krishna.
Now, naturally, solve the problem.
That will naturally solve the problem.
But for new devotees, it is hard for them to understand what is spiritual, what is material.
But for new devotees, it's hard to understand what is spiritual, what is material.
And that's why they need more knowledge,
That's why they need more knowledge
so they can understand the difference.
so that they can understand the difference.
Not very difficult.
It's not very difficult,
But it's a new way we're not used to thinking.
but it's a new way we are not used to thinking. Last question. When I increase the quantity of service, the quality of service gets affected. How do I balance this? Also, it is difficult to do multitask. How do I develop that quality? Anandamay Gopinath.
Sounds very sophisticated question.
Sounds very sophisticated question.
But practically, without some example, it's hard to answer.
But practically, without examples, it's hard to answer.
Right? You distribute more books.
Like if you distribute more books,
The quality of distribution goes down.
then it means the quality of book distribution goes down.
If you're cooking for 5,000 people and cooking for 5 people, maybe you can put more. And that's in the cooking for 5.
If you are cooking for 5,000 people or you are cooking for 5 people, maybe you can put more
Yes.
finance,
Yes. More quality.
more quality while cooking for 5.
But so and other kinds of services.
So there are different kinds of services.
Cooking for 5,000 people.
You're cooking for 5,000 people.
No one expects to be put that kind of detail into the cooking.
No one expects that you're putting that kind of detail in cooking.
But if you can make it palatable and nice, that's also very good.
But if you can make it nice, then it's also very good.
But if you cook for 5 people, then that's how you can put more detail into it.
But if you are cooking for 5 people, naturally you can put more detail into it. Okay, the last question, Guru Maharaj. I always look for some recognition to the work I do, which may be either spiritual or material. Like, why not me? Why not that service for me? How to leave this pride behind and serve you and Gauranga wholeheartedly. Kavita.
Yeah, in the second question.
The second part. How to leave this pride behind us and serve you and Gauranga wholeheartedly.
We don't think that if we do anything right, it's for our credit.
We don't think that if we do anything right, it's for our credit.
We think that it's by mercy of Guru and Krishna.
We think that it's by mercy of Guru and Krishna.
And therefore, we're able to do something nice.
Therefore, we are able to do something nice.
So that way we don't get falsely proud.
Therefore, in that way, we don't get falsely proud.
If we make a mistake, we take the blame.
If we make a mistake, we take the blame.
If we do something nice,
If we do something nice,
we give credit to Guru and Krishna.
we give the credit to Guru and Krishna. Rebo. Guru Maharaj, there's a question by one Mataji. This is regarding what Guru Maharaj spoke in the class. So about it's on about unity with Gaudiya Mats. Guru Maharaj, what does it mean to unite with them? Should we now associate with them freely, listen from them, etc.? Vasanta Ranjani.
We organize joint programs on the disappearance and appearance day of Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Bhakti Vedanta Saraswati Thakur.
We organize joint programs on the appearance and disappearance day of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Bhakti Vinod Thakur.
I think those programs can be attended.
I think those programs can be attended.
And since we're gradually trying to extend our unity in diversity,
Since we are gradually trying to extend our unity in diversity,
so I'd like to finally achieve this kind of hearing from each other.
we like to finally achieve this hearing from each other.
But we have to, I think everyone wants to be very cautious,
But I think everyone wants to be very cautious,
because if some different instruction is given,
because if there are some different instructions given,
that can deviate us.
that can deviate us.
At the same time, we want stronger if we have a united front.
At the same time, we'll be much stronger if we unite.
So we're taking it step by step.
So we are taking it step by step. Rebol.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.